So we've got a great one today, and I think it's going to help a lot of people. So you or a loved one need help with mobility, you visited a local store or you've gone online and you're greeted with a ton of different questions, options, styles and price ranges. Today we're going to cut through some of that noise and start with the basics. Should you be considering an electric wheelchair, or would you be better suited to a mobility scooter? So grab yourself a cup of tea, a coffee, get comfortable, and we'll jump into the details. So both electric wheelchairs and mobility scooters basically come in two main types. You've got non-folding and folding. On the non-folding electric wheelchair side, I'm talking about brands like Quickie that you may have seen out and about. On the non-folding mobility scooter side, I'm talking about the large ride-on scooters that you may have seen on your local high street. For folding electric wheelchairs, I'm referring to our models like the MX or CX range of chairs. For folding scooters, I'm referring to our SF range, which comes in a manual fold and an automatic fold option. These models make sense for most people. You've got the extra flexibility of a small folded footprint for car boots, for air travel or storage at home. But which should you go with? An electric folding wheelchair or an electric folding scooter? Now this is the most important bit. You need to fit the product around you and how you're going to be using it. The main differences between the two are the steering method and the controls used to do so. Electric wheelchairs are rear wheel drive with caster wheels at the front and a joystick controller. What are caster wheels? Best example I can give you that you'll be familiar with, these are very much like the wheels on a shopping trolley. Caster wheels like this allow you to move in 360 degrees. This setup allows for a very precise steering and the chair can literally be spun on the spot. This is great for getting around in tight spaces such as rooms around the home, lifts, corridors, shops and restaurants. And another benefit that people often overlook is the flip up armrests. Because of these, you can literally get the chair underneath a desk at work or a table in a restaurant. These are all great benefits. However, some people, it can take a while to get used to the joystick, having never used one before. We're normally only talking a couple of days. One of the things to be mindful with this design is dealing with cambered pavements. This is when the street pavement slopes towards the road for rain drainage. If you're steering an electric wheelchair on this type of terrain, you need to steer into the camber or into the slope to keep a straight line. This is absolutely doable for most people with a bit of practice. Scooters are also rear wheel drive with a steering column and handlebars much like that of a bicycle. This makes it very familiar for most people in that there's very little learning curve required to jump on and manoeuvre the scooter with ease. Scooters also handle cambered pavements well, as the wheels are fixed into the steering direction. Scooters aren't as manoeuvrable as wheelchairs. They can't spin on the spot, which means they don't perform well in tight environments. It's possible, but it involves things like 3-point turns that you would typically see cars doing in car parks. You also can't get scooters underneath tables like you can with a wheelchair, as the steering column is in the way. In terms of how compact they are, both fold up to a similar footprint. They'll fit in a car boot, no problem. They're airline travel friendly. So really the best way to find out the right fit for you and your personal use case is where are you going to be using it most. If you're going to be using it on pavements with steep cambers, such as driving directly from your home to the shops, a scooter would perform that task more easily. If you're going to be using it mostly to get around shopping centres, restaurants, around the home, the ability to spin on the spot and having great manoeuvrability means that a wheelchair could be a better fit. Both will work in each scenario, but it's about being aware which makes the job that bit easier in both cases. It's also worth mentioning, but some people are just not going to get on with joystick controls. It's quite rare, but it does happen. People normally know if that's going to be the case. So if you fit into that category, a scooter might make more sense. I hope this has been useful. Ultimately, it's about empowering you with the information you need to help make a decision or a shortlist. I'll leave links to our folding electric wheelchairs and scooters below. Check out our playlist this video is part of for other helpful videos. As always, if you have any other questions, drop them in the comments below. See you in the next one.